So we got a test stream going on here. We're just working on some stuff. I see some people actually dropping in the comments, so bear with me. I'm probably watching the NFL draft here. Get ready for tomorrow's spring game post-game show. So just bear with me here, trying to get so things are ready to go for tomorrow. And I think I needed to live stream for this to be able to work. Anyway, while I'm working on that, how about Dylan Gabriel, 94th overall to the Cleveland Browns? What a crazy journey that this draft has really been on here today with the dropping of Shedeur Sanders. That's wild. I did not think our boy Dylan would get drafted above one Shedeur, but yet here we are sitting in this situation. It's been a wild ride, certainly, these last couple of days. We had Oregon baseball get a big win over Oregon State. And let's see if I can. That was earlier today. I think they got like 4 games coming up, so that should be interesting to see what happens. And that still does not work. Interesting. Jordan James 4th round there. Yeah. What do we got? We had I just tweeted it out. There was something like there's 6 ducks taken already, and then we've got 3 in the 3rd round. And watch, while I'm trying to get this to work, something naturally is going to pop up, and somebody's going to get drafted. I thought couple of guys. I thought Caldwell went a little bit higher than maybe I anticipated. So there's that. This is actually what you're watching now is actually officially the first live stream in TSOW history. There you go. That's another one. Howard kind of chimes in there. 2nd round for T. Ferg. I was kind of like, where was I for T. Ferg? 3rd, like late 2nd, early 3rd, maybe. Not a huge draft guy, but that's kind of where I had it slid. That's kind of where I had him slid in. For people watching this, this is a test stream for tomorrow, so I'm supposed to be working out some bugs, and there are some bugs because I haven't live streamed on here in a very long time. So bear with me while I try to work out some bugs. I'll try to keep saying stuff, so this isn't completely just me clicking around on a mouse here, but I am going to be working on some things. Oh, maybe I need to have that. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, let's try that. Let's see, YouTube. Big spring game tomorrow. Man, am I pumped up for that spring game. Oh boy, if you are going to Autzen, I'm jealous of you. Let's see. Hey, look, oh my gosh, first test live stream. We got a question here. Great question. Why I haven't heard about Naeem Offord from anybody. Do you have any intel on how he's performing? Heard some good things. Now, here's one thing to keep in mind. This entire spring practice in Eugene, closed to the media. So, you see a lot of, I saw it at USC. Was there a few SEC schools? I don't know. Things pop up on my Twitter timeline, and sometimes I don't remember where exactly they're from. By the way, my audio is really low, so let's turn that up so people can. Oh man, this is interesting. Okay, give me a minute. There we go. Now that audio is probably where it should be. But anyway, point is there's no media access around, so you don't get I know at USC I think you can shoot video of practice for just a little bit, and you have other schools where media is allowed into practice, but that has not been the case. Nothing at Oregon. I did see, I think students were able to get in for a practice. I saw that. So that was fun. But anyway, getting back to Naeem Offord, I think the reason why we haven't heard anything from him is because the media has not been at practice. So it's kind of hard on some guys to really get a gauge of anything. But from all the things that I've heard is good things. I'd be very surprised if he does not find the field. I'd be very surprised. Well, what is redshirting? 4 games? It could happen. I don't think he's going to redshirt. I'll just say that. That's generally It sounds like he's been the one out of the freshman DBs. Him and McNutt have been the ones that have stood out. So, yeah. So take that. I mean, you got Finney and Brew in there as well. But yeah, it sounds like McNutt and Offord are certainly standing out. I forgot which recruit it was, but there was a recruit recently that was on campus. And it did have some good things to say about Offord and McNutt. Like that's kind of like where we kind of get some intel. Sometimes as you see some of these, whether it's on Scoop Duck or if you see it on another site, hey, they do an interview with a recruit after they've been on campus. And I know people right now in Duck circles don't want to hear this, but Cody Green, when he was on campus before he went to Washington and, of course, flipped to Washington, he was saying good things about, Isaiah World was hanging with some of these edge rushers for the Ducks on the outside. So that's so you just got to pick and you got to really try to find some things, but yeah. So there you go. Once again, what I'm doing in my test run. By the way, for everybody, this is technically the first live stream in TSOW history, but this is a test. I'm trying to get something where the chats appear on screen and having a little bit of trouble with that. But for now, I see some comments coming in, so I can briefly talk about them while I'm kind of working on this as one. Patrick Ryman asks, live streaming during the spring game. During? No. Afterwards? Yes. And that's what we're kind of testing for the post-game live stream. So I will have a post-game live stream as well. I'm like when I'm watching a game, I gotta be dialed in. I can't have the distractions as well. And the setup maybe in my office doesn't really is not really conducive to having this screen over here and this screen over here, and then I don't have another TV in here. So, but yeah, going live. Then this is, like I said, this is what the test is for. Going live right after the spring game. So come on by. You're gonna have phone calls, live chats, all sorts of interactive type of stuff over there. Let's see. Running backs being talked about. Feel like Jay Harris underappreciated. Do you feel like he's progressing maybe slower than we might have thought? That's interesting. And it's something that you probably should take with a little bit of a grain of salt in this spring game. Jay Harris had a good spring game last year. I'm trying to remember who else had a good spring game. It's escaping my mind right now. But, it's just a crowded running back room. Like this season, I thought, and we could still see it, I thought Jay Harris or Jaden Lamar would transfer out. I thought because look at the running back room right now. You got Hughes in there. I think Dink Riggs, he could be 1B. I've been saying all offseason, and really even going back to last season, I've been saying, Noah Whittington is the perfect 1B back. And I still believe that, but man, these things that I'm hearing about Dink Riggs, holy smokes, man. Okay, so this is something, a little bit of a take that I've been thinking up, and I'll say it more publicly, maybe during the post-game show after the spring game on Saturday. But, like a guy that just got drafted high second round today, Quinshon Judkins. He had a couple of seasons at Ole Miss where he ran for over 1,000 yards. I think 1 year it was almost like 1,600 yards. It was something crazy like that. But he came to Ohio State and he rushed for, I can't remember. I thought it was like only 600 or 700 yards. Maybe it was definitely less than 1,000. It was definitely less than 1,000. What if that's Mekhi Hughes this year? Now I'm not saying it will be, but what if that's Mekhi, and what if Dink Riggs is just like really, really good, and maybe Mekhi is just a chiseled muscle sculpture. If you've seen his kind of press conferences, I'm like, man, this guy looks gigantic. He looks huge. But what if Dink is just like on another level and has really developed with Rashad Samples in that room? Like that, and Noah Whittington then is kind of in that 3 role. Maybe he does catch some balls out of the backfield. Like maybe it's just maybe they find a different role for someone like Noah. I don't know. That's interesting. But the running back room is certainly in there as well. Yeah, let's see. Jerry says you haven't heard much about any of the freshmen. It's probably by design. Like the freshman, I mean, Dak, you listen to the press conferences. Everybody at press conferences is raving about Decorian Moore. Like every the reporters, I like the reporters have talked about Dylan Thieneman. Almost every press conference they've asked about Dylan Thieneman and Decorian Moore. One guy on offense, one guy on defense. And Dak is like, okay, he's just, man, I saw that latest, if you was on Twitter, the Oregon football account on Twitter, if you saw that last little hype video, I think it was from their scrimmage. I can't remember if it was from their first scrimmage or their second scrimmage. But yeah, you take a look at that, and he just looks like, you look at his tape over at Duncanville, and now you look at him, he just looks like, just like from a body frame standpoint, he just looks so much, I don't want to, bulkier is not the right word, but man, chiseled? I don't know what the right word is. I don't know what the right word is, to be brutally honest with you. But man, from the whispers in the wind, as I call them, the people that maybe talk to offline say he's wide receiver one. He's wide receiver one. And it's a little bit of an unknown when you got a true freshman as a wide receiver one. But Jeremiah Smith was pretty good last year. Now, was he wide receiver one? You had Emeka Egbuka in there at Ohio State. But, yeah. Like Evan Stewart, I think Evan Stewart is going to play. I've heard people say he's a little bit more comfortable playing out of the slot position. And then they're going to have Dak maybe at out wide, the X or the Z position. And then, of course, I've been talking about it here on this show, is the wide receiver 3. Who's going to play wide receiver 3? That's the question I think that everybody that everybody wants to know about. But in terms of true freshmen, Dak's obviously been talked about as well. And a couple of comments saying, hey, not much on maybe these defensive backs, Naeem Offord. So portal will be closed when? Is it now? Is it midnight today? Because they have their spring game after the portal close. So I want to say it's today, but sometimes it takes a couple of days to process some of this information as well. So that also should be taken into consideration. Going to see if this pop-out works here. Nope, that did not work either. Jeez Louise. Okay. Jeremiah McClellan. Matthew Johnson. Yeah, edge rusher. He's another true freshman. Ben mentioned certainly. He probably won't see run. I'm not talking about Matthew Johnson right now, but he probably won't see run this year. I'm excited about the next couple of year development of Toby Hastrup. Like I remember Marshall on an interview on the signing day, I think it was on Ducks Insider. He says, Toby Hastrup might have some of the best. Highest ceiling, something like that, where he could be really, really, because he hadn't played football for a long time, but he's got all the traits that you look for in a great pass rusher, great guy from the edge position as well. Let's see here, Decorian Moore, yeah, he looks at Decorian, McNutt, and Naeem Offord. Those are the guys, which that shouldn't be surprising. That those are the guys, those are the top-rated freshmen coming in this year. So, want to see De'Aaron Hill. Like, okay, I talked with, if you watched the last show where I did a spring game preview with Doug, and I mentioned Dink Riggs and Cooper Perry. Oh, people are talking about Cooper Perry, though, as well. So that also needs to be taken into consideration. Okay, like I don't think he's going to be a top 4 wide receiver certainly on this team, but a lot of people are saying some really good things about his consistency. And so when we talk about true freshmen, I think he's certainly been talked about, in there as well. I see a mention in the chat from about Kingston Lopa. I said in the last show I feel pretty good about him probably being the starter, and we got a long way to go, but maybe the whispers in the wind say that the Kingston Lopa, all 6'5" of him, could start next to Dylan Thieneman back there, which I think could be a pretty good safety combo. Everybody talks about Kingston's performance in the Big Ten championship game, so yeah, I think that'll do well. I think he'll do well if Peyton Woodyard's in there. Aaron Flowers is probably in there as some possible options. So, yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna keep on trying to get this chat display working. Appreciate everybody's patience here. Let's see. I do have the chat pulled up here. Also surprised how little Justice Lowe is talking. Okay. All right. Let's talk about something here. Let's talk about something. We saw so Justice is an interesting one to me. He was the guy when Holden went out last year, when Tez Johnson went out last year. He was the guy that kind of stepped in. And I thought he did pretty well. I was watching the what game was I watching back? Michigan game. I think it was the Michigan game where he stepped up. I think Tez was out at the Michigan game last year on the road. And I thought he stepped up and he played really well. I thought he played really well last year. So I don't know. It's just now there's just so much more. There's so many more guys in there. Justice is maybe one of those guys that could do a really good job working out of this. Like Gary Bryant, a healthy Gary Bryant, that's a guy that could probably have 500 or 600 yards. If you watch the video on Twitter, the great deep ball from Dante Moore, it did hit Gary Bryant in stride. Like Gary Bryant is a guy that maybe, hey, maybe myself included, we're talking about Kyler Casper, we're talking about Malik Benson, we're talking about some of these other guys, J-Mac, Jeremiah McClellan. Like Gary Bryant is a guy that's been around for a while. And I think that if he's fully healthy, he can do a lot of things. Now, how much of that burst does he still have? I think that's the big question. That's the big question, certainly in there as well. How many people are going to the spring game? Let's get that going. Let's get that going. I've been asked a couple of times. I looked into it a little bit, but obviously being 2 time zones away, was not able to make it out there. All right, let's see if I can get something to work. The video must already be live and set to public. It is. It is. It is. It is. Okay, gonna copy that. What do you got here? Agree with Bryant. Still haven't seen his true potential. 2023 was pretty good. I don't have his numbers in front of me, but it was like something like 500 yards. Like if Gary steps in there and he goes 500 yard, I could even like 400 yards and 3 or 4 touchdowns, considering what else is in the room, I think that could be a pretty successful season for Gary. I've said this before. I think Eastu, Dak, and Kenyon Sadiq, those are going to be your 3 main targets. Okay? I think those are going to be the guys that are probably going to get the 3 most catches this season. And then you're just going to see a lot of like 200-yard guy, 300-yard guy, 400-yard guy, something like that. Yeah, Patrick kind of chiming in. Jurion Dickey getting some highlights. Here's a couple of social media clips that they've posted this spring. It says, he's getting some run. 5-star talent a couple of years ago. We know what he can do. Injuries and some other things have set him back. Maybe, and I said this. I said, what if Ross Douglas coming to this room is the reset that a talented guy like Jurion needs? Sometimes when you get a position coach in there for a couple of years, Junior Adams ran a tight rotation. He ran a very tight rotation at Oregon. Like I talked about it on the last show, I believe, where it's like, okay, who goes out? Trayshawn Holden goes out, Tez goes out. And it's really Justice Lowe, and we didn't see much beyond that. Now, Casper was hurt early in the year, the Idaho game. And then you have, we were just talking about it. Gary Bryant Jr. was also. So maybe some of these guys weren't as far along. Was it a tight rotation? Maybe a combination of both there as well. We got a text in the chat saying, been to 2 games, one in Arlington and one in Eugene. One in Eugene all the way from Texas. Okay, let's see if I can... Let's see, that could be an issue. I see that. Let's try this. Nope, that did not work either. Okay. I'll be keeping the chat up during this test. If people want to chime in, I'll answer some stuff. This could be our pregame version the day before of the spring game. Ever since I started this live stream, I have not been keeping up with the draft. So if someone has been drafted, I do not know. Last one I saw was Dylan Gabriel, 94th overall to the Cleveland Browns, drafted, before Shitter Sanders. What a day it's been. Oh, the draft might be over. It might be over for the day. It might be over for the day because it was only just rounds 2 and 3 today. So, yeah, no, Colorado was not selected in the second or the third round. Jeez, that's insane. That's insane. You know, I'm very intrigued about this Dylan Gabriel going to Cleveland. Cleveland was a team that I'm not a big NFL guy, but Cleveland was a team that might need a quarterback, and I think Dylan Gabriel was their first quarterback taken this draft. So I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe this could, not saying it'll happen in the first week of the season, but maybe there's a path for Dylan to get things going, even if it's like sitting a year or two. Who knows? Who knows if he plays well in camp and he could really impress some people. Need the run game to step up. Definitely thought we would be a lot better last year. I think this year is going to be a step up in the run game. I think the running back room is a lot deeper. Number one, I think you got you got a 3-headed monster. Like you do have a 3-headed monster with Dank, with Hughes, with Whittington, and who knows how much. What is Jay Harris going to look like? It's good. Like we've been hearing some things. You talk about true freshman Jordan Davison out of Mater Dei. Like he's a guy that some people have been saying some good things about. So maybe he's like a number 4 guy as a true freshman. It's possible. Been hearing a lot more about Davison than about De'Aaron Hill. Not saying that that's bad on De'Aaron Hill, certainly, but just hearing more about the Thunder that is Jordan Davison. Yeah, Brown's got Quinshon Judkins. So Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Gabriel. Those are two pretty good picks. Certainly right there. Okay, let's see. Oh boy. Featured chat options. This should be here. Oh, that changed a little bit. Oh, no, that didn't work at all. Oh, that's interesting. What? Oh, jeez. Oh my. What happened here? Oh, jeez. Okay. Spring game live stream tomorrow. Make sure you come on by for that if I can get this working. Which right now is not look like it. It might be here for the chat portion of this. Oh boy. Oh, that's the wrong one. It should be this one. Feature chat overlay. Whoopsies. Okay, so there's that now. That's my fake one. Come back to the chat here. Be curious what Davison weighs. Wait, Davison? 270? That's pretty crazy. I don't know if that's. Are we thinking of it at the running back? You can just get down to around 235. That 270 for a running back would be insane. We'll see what he is. Yeah, I got some fake. These fake chat messages up here. They're not the ones in the actual chat, and that's not showing up. So that's the problem. That's the problem. Oh, okay. Let's see. What do you think? You would think Decorian Moore goes over 100 yards. We had former Oregon commit, signee, whatever he was for a short period of time. Dallas Wilson had a crazy performance in the Florida spring game. So Will Decorian have a similar performance? You'll have to watch to find out. Custom docs. Don't think this would make a difference. Okay. I think he's good feet. 245. 245 reminds me of Bennett. Lendale White. That's a good comp. I like that. I like that. That's a pretty good one. I like that. And they've talked about, I think, who was it? Noah Whittington talked. I don't think it was Samples. I think it was Noah Whittington talked about that in his press conference. It says, hey, this is more of a, it's a thunder and lightning combination. Thunder and lightning combination. Okay, here's an interesting tweet. Schools with multiple draft picks in the first 3 rounds. Ohio State, 7 players taken, and then Oregon's right there. They had 6 players taken. Texas, Oregon, and Michigan right there. So they're number 2 on that list. So that's interesting. That's fun. So Oregon is as good as any team right now in the country as far as the first 3 rounds go. I think Ohio State had a lot more players drafted in the first round, or definitely the early rounds. So there's that. But yeah, pretty good round 3. Pretty good round 3. Pretty good day 2, I think, for the Ducks, which was not surprising to me. I didn't think that they had the ultra high level draft picks. Like their top pick was Harmon at 21. So. But they had a lot of players that I thought would go into this as well. Yeah, how about Oregon baseball getting the win over number 3? What do I got here for a score? 4-2, game 1 of the weekend. I think there's 4 games. 3 of them are at Autzen, PK Park, and then one of them is over there in Corvallis. So obviously that baseball game going to take place after the spring game. So if you're out there, make sure you head over there and support some Duck baseball. Support some Duck baseball. Video ID. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Ooh, that's not it. Okay, let's try. Oh boy. Enter you the video. What if I need to start over? Nope, that didn't do it. Oh, what do we got there for a comment? Birch went low. Caldwell, yeah, Caldwell. Caldwell and Dylan Gabriel went high. But overall, I thought Harmon went as expected. I thought that he would be mid to late first round. That was not surprising. Connerly, that was expected, late first round. I not surprising there. Who else? Yeah, and then some of these other players. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that assessment. I thought a lot of these Oregon players went maybe a little bit higher than anticipated. Oh, there it is. Okay. We might have something here. Oh shoot. No. Maybe. This might work. Oh shoot. Let's see here. Oh man, thought I had it. Let's see if I got it. There it is. All right, it's working. There it is. Sweet. All right, live chats are in. There's Patrick. Look at that. Look at that. T-Ferg higher than expected, but think right where he want ahead of Canes. Tight. Yeah, it's a second round pick. Yeah, I thought he was right where he needed to be. So, yeah, definitely. I thought that was good for T-Ferg. I was hoping. Where did he go? The Rams. He went to the Rams. I'm still crossing my fingers because Denver drafted. I know this was going to be too high, for Tez Johnson today. I'm somehow crossing my fingers, somehow, some way, that we can get Tez on the Denver Broncos. You'd have Bo at quarterback, of course. You'd have Troy at wide receiver. Troy's going to be back in. He's going to be in town for the spring game. And then Tez all on the same team. So you got the Denver Ducks. Dialed in. Yeah. So that should be a lot of fun. But yeah, we got our chats. We got our chats up and running. That's what we needed to do. But I'm going to, let's see here, do this one more time so I can, video ID, yes, boom, activate source, and there it is. Okay, awesome, got it. Broncos already drafted a slot wide receiver. It would be cool. Yeah, they drafted Pat Bryant from Illinois. Really good receiver. One of the top, he was top 5, maybe top 3 in the Big Ten in receiving. He was really good. So, yeah, it probably won't happen, but, wishful thinking. Tez is interesting. I think Tez can be a weapon. I made this comparison. I think like one of the first shows that I did here on TSOW was why can't Tez be like, remember Dante Hall for the Kansas City Chiefs? Now, Tez is smaller than Dante, but not by much. Dante Hall was like a kick returner, worked out of the slot. He was like a weapon. So maybe Tez Johnson. Can be that type of weapon. Thought when Denver traded up third, pick might have been Tez, but took wide receiver earlier. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where Tez ends up going. So just a reminder to everybody watching, because I think I got everything working where I want it to, how I want it to work. After the spring game tomorrow, I will be going live with a much more organized and better looking and structured show than this. So come on by. Let's talk spring game. What are your thoughts? You got the call-in number there. So love to talk to some of you guys. So you got the call-in number there. Chats if you're not much of a caller, but yeah, let's talk not only spring game, but spring football overall, and where this program, where the Ducks sit following spring practice and the spring game. So if you're walking back to your car, if you're walking over the river, back to the parking lot, or whether you're sitting at home, wherever you are. So it's going to be a good time. Certainly tomorrow. So looking forward to that. Good day. Good NFL draft day. 6 Ducks taken overall thus far. Of course, there were 2 Ducks taken in the first round, 1 in the second round, and 3 in the third round. Yes, that is correct. Guy still on the board draft-wise. Let's see if I can do this off the top of my head. Tez Johnson is still out there. Well, man. God, who else is out there? I don't know. My brain. It's been a long day. Oh boy. So yeah, I think we got stuff up and running the way we wanted to. But big spring game tomorrow. really looking forward to some of these great matchups, specifically wide receivers. Hey, who's going to stand out maybe as a wide receiver 3 option against some of these young defensive backs? Like, it'd be really cool to see like an experienced like receiver go up against like a young, like a Finney or a Brew or an Offord or some of these young defensive backs and some of these young corners. Like, that would be something I think that'd be really interesting in some of these matchups to see. Remember, and I talked about this before in the last edition of TSOW, remember. Okay, if I don't think we necessarily want to see the offense dominating or the defense dominating. Kind of want to see a little bit of both. Right? So we'll see if both the offense and the defense can flash certainly tomorrow. But yeah, I got my stuff working, so I think I'm going to call it. Here. Shadur Sanders still on the board. Wow. That's the unpredictability sometimes out of all this stuff. All right, got the stuff working that I needed to get working. We will see everybody. Thanks for those of you that came in and had some things to say in the chat for this test. Probably going to take this video down now, but so it will only exist in our memories. Yeah, tomorrow following the spring game, 3:30 Pacific time ish. Come on by and we'll talk spring game. We'll talk spring football. It'll be a good time. So until then, we'll see you next time.